Section 1. A Day of Destiny. The Stakes of D-Day. June 6, 1944. Dawn broke over the English Channel. An armada of ships, the largest ever assembled, cut through the choppy waters. The fate of the world hung in the balance. This was D-Day, the day chosen for Operation Overlord, the Allied invasion of Nazi-occupied France. For years, Europe had been locked in a brutal war. Nazi Germany's iron grip had tightened on the continent. Millions had perished under the Nazi regime. The Allied forces, led by the United States, Great Britain and Canada, planned to breach Hitler's fortress Europe. The stakes were incredibly high. Failure would be catastrophic, prolonging the war and costing countless more lives. Success, however, would turn the tide of the war in Europe. It would be a decisive blow against Nazi tyranny. The men aboard the ships, many of them still teenagers, were filled with a mix of fear and determination. They knew the risks. They were prepared to sacrifice everything for freedom. Their courage on that day would shape the course of history. Section 2. The Gathering Storm, Planning the Invasion. The planning for Operation Overlord was a monumental task. It involved coordinating millions of troops, thousands of ships, and a vast array of equipment. Every detail, from tides and moonlight to German troop deployments, had to be considered. General Dwight D. Eisenhower, the Supreme Allied Commander, carried the weight of the world on his shoulders. He knew the invasion's success rested on meticulous planning and flawless execution. The operation was shrouded in secrecy. Deception plans were put in place to mislead the Germans. Key figures like British General Bernard Montgomery, the ground forces commander, and American General Omaha Bradley played crucial roles. Montgomery's meticulous approach and Bradley's logistical brilliance were essential to the invasion's success. Months of preparation went into training the troops, gathering intelligence, and stockpiling supplies. The Allied forces were determined to be ready for any eventuality. The fate of Europe hung in the balance. Section 3. Faces of Courage. Stories from the front lines. Among the millions who participated in D-Day were ordinary men thrust into extraordinary circumstances. Their stories offer a glimpse into the human cost of war and the incredible bravery displayed on that fateful day. Private John Steele of the 82nd Airborne, for example, found himself dangling from the church steeple in Sainte-Mère-Église after his parachute snagged. He played dead for hours, witnessing the battle rage below. His story became a symbol of the chaos and courage of the airborne operation. Captain Richard Winters, another paratrooper, led his men with extraordinary valor, securing a key causeway behind Utah Beach. His leadership and courage earned him the Distinguished Service Cross and inspired his men. These individual stories, filled with fear, determination, and sacrifice, remind us that D-Day was not just a military operation. It was a human drama played out on a grand scale. Section 4. Operation Overlord, the Allied Master Plan. Operation Overlord was a complex operation with multiple objectives. The initial assault focused on securing 5 beaches codenamed Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno, and Sword, stretching along the Normandy coastline. The plan called for a pre-dawn airborne assault by American and British paratroopers. Their mission was to secure key bridges and roads inland, disrupting German reinforcements and paving the way for the seaborne invasion. Following the airborne assault, the main invasion force would land on the beaches. Facing intense German resistance, they would fight to establish a beachhead and push inland. The success of the operation depended on precise timing, effective communication, and the unwavering courage of the troops. The Allied plan was audacious, risky, and ultimately successful. It demonstrated the logistical and strategic capabilities of the Allied forces and marked a turning point in the war. The Germans, aware of the possibility of an Allied invasion, had spent years fortifying the French coastline. This formidable defensive line, known as the Atlantic Wall, was designed to repel any attack. Under the direction of Field Marshal Erwin Rommel, the Germans built concrete bunkers, gun emplacements, and obstacles along the beaches. Mines, barbed wire, and anti-tank ditches were strategically placed to inflict maximum casualties. The Atlantic Wall was a formidable obstacle. The German defenders, though outnumbered, were determined to fight to the death. Their resolve and the strength of their fortifications made the Allied landings a perilous undertaking. The ferocity of the German defenses varied from beach to beach. Omaha Beach in particular became a bloodbath for American troops facing heavy fire from well-entrenched German positions. In the pre-dawn hours of D-Day, thousands of American and British paratroopers took to the skies. Their mission to drop behind enemy lines and disrupt German defenses. The airborne assault was crucial to the success of the invasion. Flying in darkness, these brave men faced a perilous journey. Anti-aircraft fire lit up the night sky and many aircraft were shot down. Those who made it to their drop zones often found themselves scattered and disoriented. Despite the challenges, the paratroopers fought with incredible courage and determination. They secured key bridges, destroyed enemy communications, and sowed confusion among the German ranks. Their efforts played a vital role in the Allied victory. The airborne assault, however, came at a heavy cost. Many paratroopers were killed or wounded, and their sacrifice highlighted the risks and sacrifices inherent in such a daring operation. As dawn broke on June 6th, the first waves of Allied troops approached the Normandy beaches. What they encountered was a scene of chaos, carnage, and unimaginable bravery. The landing was far from easy. The Germans, alerted to the invasion, unleashed a torrent of fire on the approaching landing craft. Machine guns, mortars, and artillery batteries roared, turning the beaches into killing zones. The water ran red with blood. Despite heavy casualties, the Allied troops fought back with unwavering courage. They stormed the beaches, cleared obstacles, and engaged the enemy in fierce firefights. Slowly but surely, they began to establish a foothold. The landings on each beach presented unique challenges. Omaha Beach, facing the brunt of the German defenses, witnessed some of the most intense fighting. The bravery and sacrifice of the soldiers who landed there became legendary. Having secured the beaches, the Allied forces faced a new challenge, breaking out of the Normandy bocage. This landscape of hedgerows, small fields, and sunken lanes proved to be a nightmare for both sides. The Germans, skilled in defensive warfare, used the bocage to their advantage. They set up ambushes, exploited the terrain for cover, and slowed the Allied advance. The fighting became a brutal, close-quarters affair. Despite the challenges, the Allies pressed on, relying on their superior firepower and determination. They gradually gained ground, but progress was slow and costly. The bocage became a symbol of the fierce resistance they faced. The breakout from Normandy was a testament to the tenacity and fighting spirit of the Allied soldiers. They overcame exhaustion, fierce resistance, and difficult terrain to secure a crucial victory. The Battle of Normandy, lasting for several weeks, was a costly victory for the Allies. Thousands of soldiers from both sides lost their lives in the fight for freedom. The human cost of war was immeasurable. The beaches of Normandy became hallowed ground, forever etched in the memories of those who fought there. The sacrifices made on those beaches served as a stark reminder of the horrors of war and the price of liberty. The liberation of France came at a heavy price. Entire towns and villages lay in ruins, and the scars of war remained visible for years to come. Yet amidst the devastation there was also hope and gratitude. The people of Normandy, who had endured years of Nazi occupation, welcomed their liberators with open arms. The bonds forged between soldiers and civilians during those tumultuous days would never be forgotten. D-Day, the largest seaborne invasion in history, was a pivotal moment in World War II. It marked the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany and paved the way for the liberation of Western Europe. The courage and sacrifice of the Allied soldiers who fought on D-Day will never be forgotten. Their bravery helped to defeat tyranny and shape the course of history. The lessons learned from D-Day continue to resonate today. D-Day serves as a reminder of the importance of international cooperation, the fragility of peace, and the enduring power of the human spirit in the face of adversity. The beaches of Normandy stand as a testament to the bravery, sacrifice, and enduring legacy of those who fought for freedom. The story of D-Day is a story of courage, sacrifice, and ultimate triumph. It is a story that continues to inspire generations and remind us of the importance of fighting for freedom and justice.